Hello, this is a video for special topic on data analytics, and I will discuss about the evaluation metrics on recommender system. So this is the idea. This is the agenda that we will discuss in this PowerPoint. I would like to mention about the evaluation procedure for recommender system, and we are going to learn about the general properties of evaluation research, like the research methods, evaluation settings, and we are going to learn also about the evaluation design, evaluation metrics, methodology, metrics, and the analysis results, and some of the alternate evaluation design. For the recommender system, when we want to evaluate the recommender system, there are many techniques, but we need to choose which one is the best for the given application domain. In movie domain, maybe we need to have a metric, but in other domain, let's say the hotel recommendation, it will be another metrics. What are the success factors of different techniques? So if we use accuracy, what is the success factor, and what is the success factor of like recall and etc. And there are some comparative analysis based on the optimality criterion. So yeah, we need to understand this one. And the research questions are, is RS is the recommender system, okay? RS is recommender system. Is RS efficient with respect to a specific criteria, such as accuracy, user satisfaction, response time, serendipity, online conversion, ramp up efforts, and etc. Okay, so we already know about the accuracy and machine learning. Okay? User satisfaction, yeah, this is also another things. Response time, if you give the result in very long time, of course it is not good. Okay? Serendipity, it means how we can give a surprise to the users, okay? And the online conversion and the other things. Do customers like or buy recommended items? If you can recommend, so is it really good for the customers, or is it really recommended items for the customers so they want to buy? Do customers buy items they otherwise would have not? So if you recommend, then of course you want to, if you recommend this item, then of course you can say that the customer will buy. Okay. But if you don't recommend, then what about if the customer suddenly buy? Okay. So something that is contradict. Okay. And are they satisfied with the recommendation after purchase? So this is something that we do not know. Maybe when you recommend, okay, the customer buy. But after 1 day, 2 days, 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, 4 days, oh, suddenly he felt that it is not good. So yeah, those kind of issues is also the evaluation of the recommender system. So when we do with the empirical research, the dimension characters, like the characterizing of the dimensions, who is the subject? Yeah. So if you want to do this kind of research, you need to know who is the subject. Is it the users? Yeah. The users can be different. Okay. For example, if I want to do the movie recommendation, then we need to get feedback from maybe movie lovers. Okay. Because if you get feedback from the general user, maybe the result may not be so accurate. Okay. Or if you want to make a book recommendation, then you need to go to people who the user should be the book lovers. If the users are general users, he may give you some bias. and also what research method are applied. When you do with movie, who, okay, and hotel or tourist travel, okay, tourism and or travel. So they have different characteristics. Okay, so what kind of research method that you want to apply for different domain, and which settings does the research test take place? So the setting is also important. Let's say you want to focus on the description of the movie, or you want to focus on the rating of the traveling. So that will be also give you a different result. So the subject, okay, so subject means the online customers or students or historical online session or maybe computers. So which computer give you the best result of the analysis. About the research method, there are some research methods like experiments, quasi experiments, non-experimental research, and the settings. Whether it is lab setting means you just give the questionnaire and then get the feedback from the user and then you calculate. But the real world scenario, maybe you want to use the data from the Netflix. Okay. So it is real world data, then you want to apply the algorithm on the real world data. So the result will be different. Yeah. So if you do with the lab studies, of course, it is created for the purpose of the study. So I want to increase the rating. Okay, then you will create only rating. The rating is maybe by the simulation, you get the rating 1, 2, 4, 5, and etc. And extraneous variables can be controlled easier by selecting study participants. So if you want to get the user from the students, then maybe you will just select the students from our university. So it is not general. And also it doubts, but doubts may exist, but participants motivated by money or price. So if you ask the students to fill in some rating scores, and at the end you said that, okay, there will be some reward, okay, you will get 50,000 coupon, then yeah, they have the motivation to get the rewards, not filling the rating. And yeah, participants should behave as they would in the real world environment. So this is just an assumption when you do with the lab studies. Field studies, yeah, conducted in pre-existing real-world environment, and users are intrinsically motivated to use a system. Yeah, if you go with the field studies, this one is also another kind of popular way to do the research. So you can go to the real laboratory. Okay, so the real laboratory, for example, if you go to big company, let's say maybe Samsung or LG, they have a very huge research facilities. So if you want to, let's say, do experiment on some of their devices, experiment on their devices. So you can do in their field studies, and yeah, you can have some motivation on that one. So that can be one of the way to do the evaluation. So there are also some difference between the experimental and non-experimental. So the experimental means you will do some test and trial, okay? But the observational or the non-experimental, so you just see what people do on some cases. For the experiment, an experiment is a study in which at least one variable is manipulated. Okay, so this manipulated means we can control it. For example, this is not the bad meaning of the manipulation, but it is a good meaning. For example, if you rate, if you ask the users to rate a movie in the movie theater, and then you ask the users to rate a movie in the coffee shop. Okay. So it can be different, okay, because one variable, which is the location, is different. So the different location may give you different result. And units are randomly assigned to different level or categories of manipulated variables. So let's say if it is in the movie theater, so you need to think more about the time, okay? Whether the time is in the midnight or in the noon. Or yeah, if you are watching the movie in the coffee shop, so the time will be more flexible. Okay? So there will be some kind of levels or categories for the other variables and the units. So let's say the users or historic session. So how many times that the users already watched that movie, how many times the user watched the movie at the coffee shop, how many times the user watched the movie at the movie theater, and etc. So the manipulated variables, yeah, we can say it is a type of RS. So there will be different kind of context. Okay? So we call it context. If the time, if you watch the movie alone, and if you watch the movie with your girlfriend, or if you watch the movie with your family, okay, so the result will be also different. So groups of recommended items, this is also different. If you watch a movie and then you have the movie plus the popcorn, okay, and let's say after you watch the movie, you will get a coupon to visit maybe coffee shop, okay, or maybe you can have a coupon to visit another place, let's say aquarium, okay, and so on. So it's also another manipulated variables and some strategies. The categories of manipulated variables, we can use the content-based recommendation system, or we can use the collaborative recommender system. So when we deal with this kind of recommendation system, we know about the data sparsity. So the data sparsity means we need to look at how the natural data set includes the historical interaction record of the real users. Let's say there are some explicit ratings. The explicit ratings means the rating that you have like 1 until 5. And there will be some data set that we can extract it from the web server logs. So for example, the website can give you the information about how many times the user click on that movie, how many times that the user view on that particular items, and etc. So there's a way to calculate the sparsity. So we want to know how sparse is the data. Okay. So the sparsity of the data set is derived from the ratio of empty and total entries in the user item matrix. So here is the formula. Sparsity is 1 minus by R, number of ratings given, divided by I. This is the number of items multiply, or it is the product of users. Okay, so I can say something like this one. The sparsity of this, let's say this px, so this is the book. Okay, so 1 minus the r means the number of data given with the ratings. So we have the data with the rating is 1 million something, 1.1 million, and the number of items that we have, we will divide with the number of items. This is 271,000 multiplied by 278,000, something like this one, and the sparsity is 0.99. So it means the sparsity is a lot. So there are so many data which is empty, or there are so many data which have no rating. Okay, because if you look at this one and you calculate this number of users and item, when you multiply it, of course the number is very big, and only this number of ratings are available. then it means that there are so many data which has no rating. So the information retrieval, okay, this is also another things if we deal with the content-based recommendation system. So yeah, we already learned about the classification. I will not discuss in detail about the classification, but you know how we can do the accuracy. Yeah. We can check the accuracy. So if there was a research about the historical crime collection in the late 1950s. There are 1,398 journal article abstracts, and then there are 225 queries. So there are 225 queries, and we want to know how many of this query written back the articles. Yeah. So the ground truth established by the human domain experts. So we, with this kind of things, so at the time, they have the data about the actual and the prediction. So when they already have this journal, they want to know that the data or the journal that actually good, and from those queries, they give the good rating. So if it is actually good and the rated is good, then we call this is the true positive. If the actually is bad, but the result, the prediction, give the good rating. So it is a false positive. If the actual is actually good, but the rated bad in the prediction, then it is false negative. If the actual is bad and the rating is bad, so it is true negative. Then we can calculate how big is the accuracy based on this problem. Okay. Yeah, we can also do the same with different kind of information. For example, I have this all good items. Okay. So all good items in the actual, and then I want to know the all recommended items. And yeah, we can also look at the accuracy based on this one. So the column here, whether recommended or not recommended, which is actually good and actually bad. So if it is good and recommended, then we can get the value. If it is bad, but they recommend it, then it is false positive. If it is good and it is not recommended, then you will see the false negative. If it is bad and it is not recommended, okay, then yeah, it is part of the true negative. So there are many evaluation design, okay, that are available. So if you look at this evaluation design, you can see that this research, they use the offline experiment and they use the accuracy, MAE, ROC, and the domain is in the movie lens. In this research in Middleton in 2004, it is related with the web pages, emails, yeah. And for this research, it is related with the each movie dataset and so on. And they use the measures accuracy, yeah, and most of them they use the accuracy. And if you look at this one, the accuracy refer to the MAE. Usually we want to predict the rating and we want to see the error. And but some of them they still also use the precision and recall and F1 score. So we will take a look all those metrics. And when we do the evaluation, we will split the data into two groups, as you may know, the training set and the testing set. The training data should be different from the testing set. So let's say I have 10 data like this one, and I want to split the data into 80-20. So 80% is the training set and the 20% is the testing set. The 80% from the data, it means there are 8 data. Okay, so let's say this is randomly selected, 8 data, and then 2 data are randomly selected for the testing set. We can also use other kind of approach to select the training and the testing. it is to ensure the reliability. So the evaluation steps can be repeated several times to determine the average result. So we can use the n-fold cross-validation. N-fold cross-validation means we will do n times. So if the n equals to 5, then we want to do 5 times. If the n equals to 10, then we will do 10 times. So what does it mean by n? N means when we have this data, for 10 data, we want to do 5 times, then it means for this data, we will split into 5. Okay. We will split into 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this data, okay, let's say this one. This data is the testing and the remaining will be the training. This is the iteration number 1. And then after we finish this iteration number 1, we go to the iteration number 2. The iteration number 2. So the testing, this one is the testing. Okay. This is the testing, and the yellow color is the training. And then we can go to the iteration number 3. This is the testing, and the yellow is the training, and so on, until we have 5 times, and we will calculate the error. Error 1, error 2, error 3, error 4, error 5, and then we do the average. So we will do the average, and we can get the overall errors. Okay. So the recommender system can be done in this flow. So we have the input items and users, and then in the model we can have the ranking. And let's say this one, for item 1 we can give the prediction 0.9. For item 2 we can give the prediction 0.8. For item 3 we can predict 0.7. For item 4 we can predict 0.6. For item 5 we can predict 0.5, for example. Okay, so maybe if it is higher or it is closer to 1, then most probably the user will like it. Okay. And in the actual, let's say item 1, okay, in the actual the users purchase. Okay. So in item 2, in the actual, it is favorite. Favorite means the users click this item many times. Okay. Item 3, there is no event. Item 4, there is no event. Item 5, there is no event. Or we can use the actual, like the relevance scores. This relevance score means because the user buy this item, then it means we give the higher value. If it is only favorite, then we give only just small value like 1. If there is no event or there is nothing information, so we give 0. Then we can compare. Okay, if the result is this is the actual data is 2, so we want to know the gap. The prediction is 0.9. Then what is the error? Okay, then we can calculate it. In the RS, there are some evaluation approaches. Okay, so we will learn about the accuracy of prediction like MAE, MSE, RMSE, and MAE. Okay. And then in the accuracy of classification, we will check the precision, recall F1, precision at K, recall at K, average precision, mean average precision. There's also another evaluation like rank score, leaf index, DCG, and DCGI, DCG. This additional metrics, I will leave it for your future research. Okay, I will not discuss this one. So the MAE, I think it is the most common approach, okay? And this has been used for the data set with items rated by the users. So we want to measure the accuracy of the prediction. Usually there are many works on this movie lens dataset, and the movie lens dataset, they have 2 datasets like 100K. 100K means 100,000, or 10M. 10M means 10 million. So this is kilo. Also 100 kilo means 100,000, and 10 million data. Or there's also another data Netflix 100M. So it is 100 million data. Okay. So historic user ratings constitute ground truth. So we say that when we know the rating, so let's say the movie one, the rating is 5. Okay, so this is the ground truth or the actual data. And the metrics measure on the error rate. We want to calculate the mean absolute error. So it computes the deviation between the predicted rating and the actual rating. So let's say this is the predicted and this is the actual. So the actual rating is 5 and the predicted is 4.5. Okay, then there is an error 0.5. And we will calculate for all the errors, and then later on we will divide with n for the number of data. We have the root mean square error, RMSE. It is similar to MAE. We want to see the deviation, but places more emphasis on the larger deviation. So if the deviation is larger, then we put the square. So it means it will increase the values, but in order to make it in the normal values or in the real values, then we will do the root. And we will also look at the normalized MAE. And MAE means the result of MAE here is divided by the total of the data, which is from I equals to 1 until n. So it is the sigma of rating. So all the ratings will be summed and then divided by the number of the data, and the MAE will be divided with this value. So this is the NMAE. Okay. Actually, we have also like this one, MAE mean absolute error, MSE mean square error, RMSE root mean square error, and MAE normalized MAE, and RMSE normalized RMSE, MAPE mean absolute percentage error. So let's see with this example. Okay. We have this example how to look at the user ID, movie ID, and then this is the rating, the actual rating, and we have the prediction. So if you look at this one, the rating is 5 and the prediction is 4.5. So we do the absolute of the predicted minus by the actual. So the result is 0.5. When we do with the square, so 0.5 multiplied by 0.5, then the result is 0.25. For the data number 2, the rating is 4 and the prediction is 5. Then there is our difference 1. And when we do the square, it is 1. The rating is 5 and the prediction is 5. Then the error is 0. Okay, of course, this is what we want. If the rating, the actual rating is the same with the prediction, yeah, the error is 0. And so on. So we get the value like the rating, the actual rating is 3, the prediction is 5. Then the difference or the deviation is 2. And when we do the square, it is 4. Okay. So MAE means we calculate this one 4.6 in total. Okay, so this is the summation, the total. And we divide with the number of data. So we have 10. Then the result is 0.46. For the RMSE, okay, the value is 5.6. Okay, so this is the result from the square. Okay, then we will do the root mean. Root. Okay, so the root from 5.6, the result is 0.75. And we can also check, okay, this is still so high, okay, because we want to make it closer to 0. So closer to 0, yeah, is better. And we can check what is the highest error. Okay, then because we know that number 4 is the highest one, let's say if we remove the line number 4. Okay, if we remove line number 4, so it remains 9. Okay. When it remains 9, let's calculate again, and the result, okay, the MAE and the RMSE is decreasing. If we remove again 1, 2, 4, and 5, okay, the MAE and the RMSE is decreasing more. Okay, so it's better when we remove the higher errors. Okay, so my question is, can you calculate the normalized MAE and MAE? Okay, so I will stop here and let's discuss how to calculate this one on the class. Thank you for watching the video and see you on the class.